regarding Graham Plattner, I think this is an incredibly important reminder for a lot of people that I've talked to, that we can't glamorize politicians, that we can't expect one politician to come in and save us. We need to invest in long-term structural change. One of my coworkers put it best yesterday, where she was saying that everyone wants to think that the civil rights movement was just because Martin Luther King Jr. Was a good speaker and was able to mobilize people. As if there weren't hundreds of people involved in the Montgomery bus boycotts, in every action, in the sit-ins, in every form of protest of the Black freedom movement. Martin Luther King was the figurehead, one of them, but the movement could not have existed without the thousands of people that had enough. The same can be said about the women's rights movement and the gay rights movement and the disability rights movement. There was not one person who woke up and decided, I'm going to change the world today. There were coalitions of people. There was structural change. There was grassroots organizing, and there was movement building. If you're feeling disappointed right now, I know so many Mainers, myself included, are feeling disappointed, are feeling hurt, are feeling betrayed, are feeling angry. This is our time to look into things that are not just elections. Yeah, elections are important, but structural change is way more important. This is why groups like Democratic Socialists of America are so important, or SURGE, standing up for racial justice, or Common Power, groups that are not just focused on one election, but are planning into the future. I think this is incredibly important going into 2028. Everyone wants to know, who's the Democratic nominee going to be? Who's going to save us? That's not how this works. You need to join a grassroots organization. You need to get to know your neighbors. You need to coalition build. You need to show up for mutual aid groups. You need to pay attention to local politics, very, very local politics, like your school board or town council. One person, and certainly not a white man, is ever going to be the person that swoops in and saves us. Change is the result of organizing, of mobilizing, of grassroots power, and Graham, for a minute, was able to tap into that, into grassroots base building, but the movement does not die with him being a rapist. In Maine especially, I would look into groups like Maine Youth Power and the Maine People's Alliance, who are doing this long-term structural change, and remember that politicians are never going to save us, but people and grassroots base building will.